You said something the other day, Charlamagne, that wasn't saying you don't think Trump can win, wasn't saying you don't think any of that. It was you don't think Trump wants to be president anymore. I just want to play it.
Wow. Wait. Real quick, before you guys watch this, do any of you guys think Donald Trump doesn't want to be president anymore? Please comment down below.
He does not want to be the Republican nominee no more. He is hoping that Republicans do him the way the Democrats did Biden. He wants to be president.
Whoa, really? Charlamagne is suggesting that Donald Trump wants to be booted off of the Republican ticket? This is what he's suggesting here. Listen to him.
Got his misery. You can hear it in his voice.
I understand you just interviewed a special guest. What can you tell us?
Yeah, Wolf, when we were doing the roll call yesterday, we were down here covering it from the floor. You may have seen a special guest in front of New York's delegation. That was Spike Lee. I just ran into him on the floor a few moments ago and asked him about what this convention means and what it means to have Vice President Harris at the top of the ticket. And this is what he told me.
Well, of course, we started off with everyone's favorite person, Caitlyn. Oh, my God. The gaslighter, the one who Donald Trump basically made famous, Caitlyn Collins, for basically being, what did Donald Trump call her? Oh man, you're a really evil one. You're a really rude one. So Collins is a CNN anchor who was made viral by Donald Trump during a very heated moment on their network. Check this out.
Why you held on to those documents when you knew the federal government was seeking them and then had given you a subpoena to return them.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Can I talk?
Yeah, what's the
mind?
answer?
Do you mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
How many of you guys feel the same way as Donald Trump about Caitlyn Collins? Y'all let me know. By the way, if you haven't already, please take a second, hit the like button for the video. I totally appreciate you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. You guys really, really do help out the channel, and you help get the truth out to America. All right.
You're here at the Democratic convention. What does it mean for you to be here to see Vice President Harris as the Democratic nominee?
I wanted to be here. This is not history. This is her story. She's going to be the first woman to be president of this United States of America.
Wait a second. Is there a central theme going on here? Like, I mean, we've already, if you guys look at my previous video, I've already showed you guys numerous instances of Kamala Harris appearing to be intoxicated, inebriated, and many folks are actually, at this point, they're calling her basically a functional alcoholic. Here we have Spike Lee at the Democratic National Convention being interviewed by Caitlyn Collins from CNN, and I don't know, it sounds like Spike Lee may be intoxicated too. I'm not sure. Y'all let me know.
President of this United States of America, blended family, you know, the whole Howard University, HU, you know, so this is a amazing moment in the history of these United States of America. And
now, one thing I will say is I'm at least happy that Spike Lee said that she would be the first woman president. Not because I want her to be the first woman president. Trust me, that ain't the way I roll. But I am thankful that he didn't say that she would theoretically be the first black woman president of the United States. I am thankful that he didn't say that.
we gotta go forward, not backwards. We gotta go forward. We gotta advance. You know, to bring up equity around this nation where we will lead the world. So, you know, I travel a lot of times and outside the United States, and when this guy was president, people, total strangers, would pull me and say, what the hell is going on?
Donald Trump.
Yes.
He didn't want to say Donald Trump's name. I don't know what's up with that. Do y'all know what's up with that? Like, why Spike Lee didn't want to say Donald Trump's name? But are you guys picking up on Spike Lee's speech? I don't know if I don't regularly listen to Spike Lee, so I don't know if he always talks like that, but it just seems a little bit similar to Kamala Harris and a little bit of slurred speech there. And I don't know if they're hanging out backstage getting lit on some old English or maybe some Schlitz malt liquor. I don't know what they're into. I don't know. Maybe it's the goose. The goose gets you loose. I don't really know.
I try not to say his name. But people, total strangers on planes, just walking around all the world saying, what is wrong with America? How did that guy get elected? So those 4 years where the world was looking at us like with the side eye, like WTF.
Really?
And we know what that means.
Oh, WTF. I have no clue what that means. But what's up with your glasses, dude? Like, where'd you get those glasses from?
Well, that was over there by the New York delegation. Tonight, I'm standing here by the Minnesota delegation. Obviously, maybe one of the most excited ones here on the floor. That's because a Minnesota...
Now, of course, we got to talk about just a little bit because Spike Lee said that this is not his story. He was trying to make a, play on words. It is her story, right? Interesting little sidebar. Happened to be in Books A Million today, and I haven't been in Books A Million in God knows how long. It's one of the last surviving bookstores here in America because, the Biden administration is just trying to eliminate education. So they've allowed all these different bookstores to just completely go out of business. Forget about all these different food processing centers that are going out of business. You guys heard about Walgreens going out of business. You've heard about Rite Aid closing stores. So many people won't be able to access medication like they used to be able to. Countless jobs going away thanks to Bidenomics. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys have also heard about the revised job numbers. Kayleigh McEnany, she talked about it a little bit earlier today. Talked about how we had seen one of the biggest job revisions, or maybe at least in the last 20 to 30 years. I'll let her explain it to you guys.
Well, this was breaking last hour. Stunning new numbers from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The department says that the United States added 818,000 fewer jobs than initially reported.
So they lied.
It was between March of 2023 and 2024. And that makes the largest downward employment revision in 15 years.
Wow.
More than 800,000 jobs just vanished, just like that.
Because they never existed.
What appears to be a sign of a weak and vulnerable job market. Brian, what's going on?
Kayleigh, this is a huge revision. We were thinking it might come in near 1 million, and it did. That's 68,000 fewer jobs on average than was reported. Okay, why does that matter? We've had this gap between how people feel about the economy and what the numbers supposedly say. And what we're finding is that gap is shrinking.
So when President Biden and I took office, we decided to invest in the working people of America, to create millions of jobs. Today, by virtually every measure, our economy is the strongest in the world. We have created 16 million new jobs.
It just kills me, like how they continue to try to gaslight us and tell us how many new jobs that they've created. They didn't create 16 million new jobs. The United States economy was completely shut down after the coronavirus pandemic. And yet these people continue to try and take credit for what they don't deserve to be getting credit for. When the economy reopens, after 20 million jobs were lost, well, there's a tremendous number of those jobs that are simply being restored. So Kamala Harris and Biden, they didn't create really any jobs. We're still in the hole technically. She's saying they created 16 million jobs. At one point, we had lost 20 million jobs. So really, we've lost more jobs in the history of tracking employment statistics under the Biden-Harris administration than any other presidential ticket in history. Maybe rivaling 1929. But something I found interesting, I was in the Books A Million today, and I happened to look in the on the magazine aisle. And again, one of the last surviving bookstores around. I don't know if you guys have any bookstores near you guys. And I see this magazine with Kamala Harris's face on the cover. So apparently they still do have Kamala's actual face on some magazines. Now, I'm shocked. I'm like, whoa. Because the last time I saw Kamala's face was on a Time magazine cover. And it was a criminal sketch artist drawing. And no offense to the artist, because they did a great job. But it was like a criminal sketch artist of Kamala Harris versus an actual picture. So I see her. And I pick up the magazine and I think to myself, wow, what magazine is this where Kamala Harris is on the cover? Because Time magazine's a pretty big magazine and they didn't even have her actual picture there. So I come to find out, wow, this lady is on another level of narcissism because it's a Kamala Harris magazine. So it wasn't like Time magazine or anything like that. It was a Kamala Harris magazine. When you opened up the magazine, it was all about her and Joe Biden. It was all about Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. I was like, holy cow. It's a Kamala Harris magazine. The whole magazine is all about her. Wow. How is that conceited? Is that what's the word for that? Is that egotistical? Is that narcissistic? Like, what do you call that? This woman is all about her. She claims to be black. She claims to be Indian. She claims to be Asian whenever it is beneficial to her. Meanwhile, destroying the United States economy.
Biden has not been on a major party's presidential ticket in 4 decades since Walter Mondale ran. And now, of course, Governor Tim Walz is preparing to speak in this convention hall tonight. And just to give you an indication of how excited they are as all the delegates are making their ways over to their seats, they have put Governor Walz's head on a 2-foot large sign to hold up tonight as he is going to be addressing this hall. And obviously, what is one of the biggest moments of his political career, a moment for him.
Why would you want to do that? And then here you have all these Democrats in here just smiling. Everybody's full of cheer in the Democratic National Convention. Meanwhile, you got all these businesses outside that have boarded up their businesses because of fear of the protests and the rallies and possible riots taking place in the streets. The economy is in shambles. Businesses are losing a tremendous amount of money as the DNC continues to take place, and these folks don't even care.
To introduce himself. Out of all the speakers who were on that list tonight, he is probably one of the least known nationally. And so tonight he's going to be introducing himself, not just to those here in the room, certainly not the Minnesota delegation, but to everyone who is watching at home, Wolf.
Well, I think he is known quite a bit. I mean, at least, he's got a record, I mean, he was arrested in 1995 for a DUI, driving like 95 miles an hour in a 55 mile an hour zone. And it's, the media is doing their best to keep that quiet because while that would make America more aware of who Tim Walz is, it's not the kind of publicity that they want for the Kamala Harris Walz ticket.
Wolf, and joining me now is Charlamagne the God, host of the Breakfast Club radio show. Also the author of the newest book here, Charlamagne, Get Honest or Die Lying, Why Small Talk Sucks.
Get Honest or Die Lying. Wow. So I want you guys to read this title, look at this title, digest it, and pay attention to the irony here, guys. Someone who writes a book that is titled Get Honest or Die Trying, you would think that they would be telling you the truth. But based on what I've seen from this guy, Charlamagne is probably one of the biggest Kamala Harris supporters I've ever seen.
What's up, Aaron?
And also the co-founder of Reason Choice Media. And Angela Rye is back, which is wonderful to see you.
Thank you.
Co-host of the Native Land Pod. All right, so you heard Spike Lee there. Mm-hmm. He's talking about Donald Trump. He doesn't like to say his name, but talking about how he feels that he believes that Kamala Harris can be the next president. You said something the other day, Charlamagne, that wasn't saying you don't think Trump can win, wasn't saying you don't think any of that. It was you don't think Trump wants to be president anymore. I just want to play it. Mm-hmm. Here it is.
Wow. Wait. Real quick, before you guys watch this, do any of you guys think Donald Trump doesn't want to be president anymore? Please comment down below.
He does not want to be the Republican nominee no more. He is hoping that Republicans do him the way the Democrats did Biden. He wants to be president.
Whoa, really? Charlamagne is suggesting that Donald Trump wants to be booted off of the Republican ticket? This is what he's suggesting here. Listen to him.
Out his misery, you can hear it in his voice.
What do y'all think?
You believe that?
100%. I think, you know, what Nikki Haley said when she said the first party to get rid of their 80-year-old candidate was going to win this election. I think that's going to come to be true. And I think that, you know, he's just over it. I mean, the guy did just get shot at, what, a month ago? And I think there's some PTSD involved. I think everything that you're seeing right now from Donald Trump is just a response to trauma. He's just staying busy because he absolutely has nothing else to do. Or maybe it's just his ego.
I'm sorry. I think Donald Trump's a pretty busy entrepreneur and business owner. I would have to definitely argue that Donald Trump just doesn't just have anything else to do. Donald Trump has plenty to do. He's got plenty of money to do it with. So I think that's a stark contrast to the truth, a blatant lie, if you ask me, which is pretty ironic given the title of the book that he just wrote.
Saying, hey, I need to continue to run because I want to stay out of jail. But I don't think he wants to be the nominee in any way, shape, or form.
Do you think that too? And do you think it goes back to that moment when he was shot at?
I don't think that part. I do think that he is running to stay out of jail. I think the Trump family saw quite a boost, even economically, from his presidency. And I think Donald Trump would do anything to stay out of jail. He has a bunch of folks who follow him. He won at least the Electoral College in 2016, and I think that's what this is about. I think that he has a huge ego and it gets in his own way.
At some point, you got to say enough is enough, though, right? At some point.
Well, first of all, the DOJ, the Biden administration, did not sic the DOJ and the legal system on Donald Trump until he announced that he was running for the 2024 presidential seat. So really, Donald Trump wasn't even facing any kind of legal issues prior to that time. So it's not like Donald Trump is running for president to stay out of jail. Donald Trump started running for president, and then they threatened to throw him in jail because he was going to become president, right? So this is, I love how the left loves trying to, you know, the liberal left, they really just try to just twist and manipulate the truth to make it suit their argument. And this is just so far from the truth, guys. The fact that Donald Trump is the lie that Donald Trump is running for presidential office to stay out of jail, it's just not true. It's just not true. And the fact that she's saying, and I didn't catch the young lady's name on the far right, to, you know, right next to Charlamagne, but she's saying that Donald Trump's family benefited tremendously from becoming president. Well, and it seemed like she was alluding to financially. Well, Donald Trump, since he was running for president, has almost like the entire New York legal system against him, and there's a lot that points toward Joe Biden sicking the Department of Justice and the New York justice system against Donald Trump because he was running. Look at the Letitia James, Judge Arthur Engeron, $454 million lawsuit that was filed and won against Donald Trump. This is a $500 million lawsuit that they've basically been able to, because they've got a panel of highly biased judges that are all Democrats and don't like Donald Trump, and have essentially ruled against him. They are essentially fining him $500 million. How in the world did this at all help Donald Trump? No, Donald Trump loves his country, and that's why I think he's running for president. But what do y'all think? You guys drop me some quick comments down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.